South Africans are paying more for fuel at the pumps from today. The retail price for both grades of petrol has increased by R1.71 per litre. Now, those in the transport industry, such as e-hailing system drivers, say doing business is becoming costly. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is in Centurion and joins us now. Nqobile, very good morning to you. You've been interacting with various people throughout the course of this morning, but I suppose one of the biggest questions is, will the price of transport in terms of travelling increase for those who were going to be catching e-hailing services or perhaps even regular taxis?
Well, definitely. I mean, we just had a conversation with e-hailing who was saying it's very expensive. Then we went on to speak to Santaco, and Santaco themselves did explain that they are also thinking in terms of how they are going to increase, if they have to increase the prices, because at the moment they're saying they're not making ends meet. Now, where we are in Oliven, in Pretoria, and I just want to bring this closer to obviously the people that work in the industry. Baba that we're about to speak to is a driver, and I mean, Baba, you interact with a lot of people on a daily basis, and I understand ukuthi petrol affects, but affects kanjani?
Nginibingelele icele lokhulumayo. Upetrol usaffecta kakhulu njengoba unyukile ngoba uma siya egarage sesikhona ukuthela imali eningi ukudlula le besithela ekuqaleni. And manje na ntambama masichayisa kufuneka ama-checking asakwazi ukucheckisa imali okuyiyona yona besicheckisa mase siyaxabana nabelungu and bazolwa futhi kakhulu futhi ayikho into esizoyenza nathi ngoba imali incane upetroli uyadura manje leyo inkinga yethu sinayo.
Ubaba ngathi nje njengoba manje usunyukile mhlambe nizamela ukufaka upetrol before unyuke.
Izolo ngizamile ngilukufaka izolo kodwa futhi namhlanje sekufuna futhi ngiphinde ngifake ngoba itaxi upetrol ufaka nsuku zonke ayifani neprivate uzofaka namhlanje kusasa awuyisebenzisi every day siba petrol ayikho into esingayenza futhi itaxi iyasebenza every day.
Siyabonga kakhulu baba. Mama, ungomunye wena wabagibeli, also umuntu who works in this area, because I understand that you also have your own business. But now, how does this affect you, especially because you run a business and you still have to take a taxi? Uguzala.
Ke just le double lang. Inga affecta kudu cause akihumani profit. If the taxi driver adina chelete then adish. Wara lena akibele chelete. Ya kama hoyi affecta nkawa.
Mhlawumbe mama mawungasukhuluma nathi ungathi usizo lo yini enganisiza manje?
Mukhamu heba ka isha petrol fasinyana ukaba kaone.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Well, as you heard there, this lady here is also a business person, but also a person who has used the taxi to commute, and she's just explaining to us that this affects her a lot. This is mainly because she has to take a taxi to come here, and she says that if petrol prices had to be dropped, it will make her life much easier. And I mean, the driver that was speaking to us also was explaining to us that they went to the pumps to try and put petrol, but it doesn't really help that much because it has increased, and today they still have to. But also they have a check-in. What is referred to as a check-in is the amount of money they need to deliver to the person that they drive for, and that amount may not be the same amount that they were delivering before the petrol went up, and that of course creates a bit of conflict between them and the employer. And of course we are going to speak to a queue marshal who's also been waiting to speak to us just to hear how that affects them as well. But for now, back to you in studio.
Very well, Nqobile Madlala. Of course, the ripple effect continues as we now take you to Mpumalanga, where some farmers are bracing themselves for tough times ahead as fuel hikes kick in. They say they will now have to spend more on diesel to run operations at their farms. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela is at the Laughing Waterfall Farm in Nkomazi in Mpumalanga to talk to some of the farmers there. Mweli, very good morning to you. It seems there's a lot of concerns in the agricultural sector. What are farmers telling you there?
Yes, indeed, Mpho, there's a lot of concern in the agricultural sector in as far as the issue of fuel hikes is concerned, because farmers are saying that already they are coming from difficult times. You know, the story of the COVID-19 pandemic, they were still trying to recover. So now it's the issue of the economy that now they have to pay more for diesel as they're using tractors and other mechanization processes to ensure that farming operations run smoothly. But let's speak to General Manager of the Matamo Farms. She's running those farms specializing in production of lychees as well as bananas and sugar cane. The time is here now. The prices of fuel are increasing. How is this going to affect you as farmers?
Thank you, Mweli. As farmers, we will be adversely affected with this price increase of fuel, because we're running a lot of tractors and other implements on the farm. So we need diesel to be able to operate. And we are still not big farms, like we're not big on commercial. So we can't really afford this price increase because it affects our input as well. Everything else keeps going up. With this, we know now that food is going to go up. The people that are working here are not going to be able to afford to buy the food. And as farms, the fertilizer is going to go up. Electricity is going to go up. So it's really affecting us a lot.
Let's talk about also, you told me that you tried to purchase the fuel and apparently you are now only getting limited stock. If you can explain to us what has led to that, because it seemingly there isn't enough diesel also in the market at the present moment.
Yeah, our suppliers have really sent us information to say that there is a shortage of diesel in the country. So would lead to them not being able to supply to us enough diesel at a certain time. So now, instead of placing your order in a week in advance, you have to extend and order it 3 weeks in advance, so that at least they can put you in line. And you are not even sure if you're going to get it at that time, because the shortage is really high.
This issue of the fuel hike comes at a time also when you are already faced by the issue of load shedding, which is also affecting you. How serious is the impact?
The impact is really serious because load shedding is really affecting us. Remember, when it's load shedding, we also get affected with theft as well. So now there is load shedding, there is fuel hike increase and theft, and it's costing a lot of money for us. And we can't be able to run generators to be able to run the pack house, as you can see, because the price of the fuel is really high.
And then what does this mean in the long term? Will you perhaps at some point be compelled to reduce staff here?
We don't really want to go that route, but by the look of things, yes, we might be needing to go into that route, because you can't be having less income and then spending a lot. Because if you can think about it, when the fuel hike is going up, everything else go up, and you can't now keep staff where even the production, we are being affected as well with the banana price. For months now, the banana price has not been stable in the market. So in that point, it means that we're not getting enough money in, and we need to be spending a lot of money as well.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Mpho, that's Posham Lovo. She's a manager of Matamo Farms here, specializing in the production of bananas as well as lychees and sugarcane. And my colleague Luyanda will show you on my right here. These are some of the implements used here. A tractor is now delivering the bananas from your farm so that they can be processed here and packed here at the pack house. And as she has said, they don't actually want to see a number of workers losing their jobs here, because we know that these farms employ more than 130 people already. But looking at the current situation, they might be compelled to reduce staff in the long term. They're saying it's not something that they're expecting to happen immediately, but they might be compelled to do so. And as we have heard also, she was touching on the issue of limited diesel being supplied at the moment. It's not clear as to what has led to that problem at the current moment, because she's saying their suppliers haven't explained what exactly has led to the short supply. But that's a matter we will be also looking into.
The damages of a fuel price hike on several sectors, as we continue, of course, to take a look at how detrimental this knock-on effect will be.